U.S. retail sales came in much hotter than expected in July, driven by a boost in e-commerce in particular. Joining us now to break down the highlights, Yahoo Finance's Josh Schaefer. So, Josh, what do we see here?
Yeah, Julie, so I'm right next to the headline numbers right now. So you see the big beat that we had just overall. So retail sales in July up 0.7%. Estimates have been for 0.4%. And then when you take out auto and gas, retail sales up 1%. Again, estimates had been for 0.4%. So a pretty significant beat for the July retail sales report, and significantly higher than we saw in June. Remember, in June, this 0.7% number was just 0.2%. But I want to take a look at what has happened over the last couple of months as well, when you look at how retail sales have remained resilient. You remember in March, retail sales for the month fell 1%. This is when a lot of people, right around in March, started circling, okay, here comes that consumer slowdown. What's going to happen in April? What's going to happen in May? Well, look at this. We've been pretty consistent now, 4 straight months of gains, and a 0.7% gain in July is not nothing. And it sort of gets to the story we've been talking about a lot this summer about the resilient U.S. consumer. And then another interesting thing in this report I want to dig into is what did well and what didn't do well. And when you take a look at the categories, remember July has Amazon Prime Day. Amazon Prime Day, a big online sale. Not a surprise to see e-commerce leading the way here, up 1.9%, up over 10% compared to the same period last year. So potentially a very big month for Amazon. We know they did well. They said that the sales did well, but curious when we get to next quarter's earnings, sort of how that plays out. And then to get a little bit more corporate on what we're looking at here as well, we had Home Depot earnings out this morning. They flagged that people are still not buying those big ticket items. They're seeing a slowdown there. Well, let's take a look at furniture down here, what Home Depot sells, right? Some of that porch furniture, things like that, down 1.8%. And then you see electronics down 1.3%. Remember, we're going to hear from Target and Walmart later this week. Last quarter, Target said discretionary spending was starting to slow down. Interesting to see this number down 1.3%. Curious what we hear about that discretionary spend. Right now, it seems like the narrative we're seeing in retail sales is people are still spending, but not necessarily on the things that they don't need. And it'll be curious to see how that continues to play out as we still look for this consumer slowdown that's maybe materializing, but maybe not as much, Julie, as people thought.
We're in different places, right? Right. And you mentioned Target and Walmart from that electronics number, but we're going to hear from Best Buy next week also. So that'll be obviously very closely pegged to that. Thanks, Josh. Yeah.